It's Jacob and AJ's Chang.
What is up? This is the Changhoff podcast. I'm AJ.
I'm Jacob.
And I'm Vaun. Hey.
What's up, Vaun? How you doing?
Welcome.
I'm alright. A little nervous. Never done something like this before.
Okay.
So see how this goes.
We're happy you're here. Thanks
Hey.
for joining us.
Thanks,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Alright.
If it doesn't go well, don't worry. Nobody really listens to it. And if it
Okay.
does go well, then actually a lot of people listen to it.
Okay, well,
So-
there you go. Win-win.
Hopefully it goes well.
Yeah. Hopefully I don't say the wrong thing, you know.
No.
Start some debates on the internet.
Yeah.
You know what, let's
tell
do
us,
that.
Tell us a little about who you are, Vaughn.
Well, name's Vaun. I'm from Tampa. I do photos, videos sometimes. I like to make clothes. I sell clothes. Yeah, it's pretty much all about me. Ah, dang, I'm bored. Jeez.
That's Vaughn in
All
a
right,
nutshell.
yeah, it's Vaun in a nutshell, bro. I like
Get up
take
real
photos
quick.
and
Show the
make
people
clothes.
your fit.
Oh, yeah.
Tell them about what you're wearing.
Yeah, this is the last drop. I dropped in December. This is a copyright collection. It's all gone. Don't ask. I don't have any more.
What's the line
Exclusive.
of that new Kendrick song where he says like, "Sorry, my life is boring. I like peace."
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
I think he like peace.
pretty
man.
much, man.
He likes peace.
Yeah, but yeah, it's pretty much all about me.
So how long you been doing all of this stuff? What have you been doing the longest? Photos, fashion?
I've been doing photos the longest. I've been doing photos since I was like 15 when like COVID hit. When COVID hit, I had this online class for video production, and I think it kind of taught me more about photos than it did. I mean, it taught good stuff about videos, but I wasn't taking videos at the time.
Yeah.
So it kind of taught me how to color grade a little bit and be able to use kind of like my old camera to take some good photos. I've been making money off of it ever since.
When did the fashion come in?
Yeah, the fashion came in my senior year of high school. So I was just like, I also did graphic design. So I did photos and graphic design.
Oh, nice.
And graphic design was my bread and butter actually. But then I was like, I don't know what made me want to do clothes. Well, okay, I do know. Because I didn't like buying clothes. And I wanted to make my own. So that way, I mean, if I'm going to make clothes, if I'm going to buy clothes, it's going to be clothes I want to wear. You know what I mean? And then people were saying how like designs I made for like shirts and stuff was cool. And I'm like, I should try selling it. I'm like, okay, I'm trying selling it. So I bought like some Gildan shirts off of some wholesale site. And then I vinyl printed like a bunch of shirts I had. I started off with 10 pairs of shirts at first. And I sold them for like 30 each. Sold those out. Did it again. And then it was just kind of rinse and repeat from there. And then I just been doing it ever since, really. And each drop I've been trying to like make it better than the last one. So I actually hate those shirts that I started off with. People still say they like them. I actually like despise them, but you know, you got to start somewhere, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So what you have on is the latest drop that you've done?
Yeah, it's the latest drop, yeah.
So do you have anything in the works right now?
Yeah, for summer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, some shorts, some possibly some hats. Shorts and shirts for sure though. And then some little extra stuff I want to kind of leave as a surprise, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Leave some mystery in there, but you know.
This is a world premiere.
Yep. You're not getting nothing.
Be in tune for Vaun Strop. What is the name of your clothing brand or line?
CEO agency.
Oh, okay.
But if you're on Instagram, you gotta type CEO AGNCY because some other Instagram account has the actual name, and I think it's like a Forex scamming account, bro. I'm gonna be honest, man.
CEO agency does sound like a forex.
Yeah. I was like, it's like, yeah.
But it's a cool name for a clothing brand.
Yeah.
Is that the name of the brand? CEO Agency.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the name of the brand.
So you're CEO Doc on Instagram.
Yeah. I hate when people call me that. I just like it. I like it because it's short. Well, Doc is fine, but like CEO Doc, I just like it because it's short and it's like easy to find. All right, I'm taking over this podcast now. What field are you in? I've mostly been seeing music stuff.
Yeah, I guess right now, I do this podcast.
Okay.
I do Citrus Sound, just a radio show.
Okay.
And then now we're doing this project called Motion Makers. And that is going to be more of like a documentary style pieces on just people in the scene that are making motion.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. I like that. I like
So
that.
just a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
So I don't exactly know how to like categorize myself. I'm just doing a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Which one do you feel like you're most committed to right now?
That's a good question.
Sounds like citrus.
Yeah, everyone so far, we've been getting a lot of really good reception on the Citrus Sound, and people saying that it's a really good idea, and that's it's cool. It's hard to pick. It's like choosing your favorite child.
Yeah.
So like, it's hard.
Yeah.
But in terms of what is making the most motion, I guess right now is Citrus Sound for sure.
Okay.
The podcast is really just something that we kind of do for fun and just to have some sort of consistent creative stuff coming out on a regular basis. Like I like to think about it as the podcast is something that I'm not trying to necessarily like make money off of.
Yeah.
But it does have potential to make money in the future.
Yeah.
If people, start like watching and liking us and whatnot and all the connections that we're making. So it's just kind of like a fun passion project, I guess. So yeah, I would say Citrus Sound is the one that I'm like focusing and putting all my a lot more energy into. But also the Motion Makers, we're just starting to like get into that, and we already have like a few pieces that we want to put out. We did an interview with They Hate Change on Record Store Day at Bananas, which is really cool. We have this interview with Kaylin Ellis from that music festival Big Calf that we were telling you about earlier.
Okay.
Then we have there's a couple more stuff. So that I'm really excited about because personally, like that's the type of content that I really like gravitate towards, and I'm like looking forward to the opportunities to like talk to more people, talk to cool people, and document them and like really give them like a not even a voice, because they're like using their voice for themselves, but like really humanize them. Yeah. And like bring people,
like made the people relate to them. Yeah.
Exactly. Because it's like really easy nowadays to curate your image online and be someone maybe that not like fake, you put a version of yourself online, but I like to get to like the real core.
Because when you like up there, it feels like you kind of like separated from everybody. Mm-hmm. So I guess you're trying to kind of bring them back together.
Yeah, I'm trying to bring them down to life, and just like who are you as a person?
Yeah.
Not just as the artist or fashion designer or whatever you're doing. Just like who are you as a person? How did you become this person? Like what really drives you? What are your moral standpoints? Like what do you really believe in? That's the type of stuff that I really like. So
okay.
So yeah, that's what we're doing, or what I'm doing.
We're
doing with AJ too.
What's up?
So I know we were talking before we started recording about like where you see yourself headed, and what you want to do in the future.
Okay.
Let's talk about that.
Okay. In the future, I've been kind of not choosing between the two. I've been doing both. But I mean, I know further down the line it's going to come down to it, which one is going to be my top priority between like the photos and videos and then the clothes. Mm-hmm. I'm hoping, not hoping, but eventually I think what would end up happening is the photos are probably, because photos are doing really good right now, especially during grad season. Yeah. And then like those, honestly, grad season's kind of year round. Like it's always happening. Someone's always gonna need photos. Hopefully that. But then once I get like get all the skills and the gear like from doing all that, I could really start dumping back into the clothes and stuff with all the new like stuff I learned from doing this for however long. You know what I mean? So eventually I would say the clothes. Eventually the clothes. Long term. It's a good question, because I think about this a lot and I still don't have an answer. Yeah. Dang.
It's hard because people change even day by day,
exactly,
week by week, month by month.
Exactly. Because I was thinking about, I'm like, maybe I would want to like vlog, but then I was also like, But sometimes I just don't even want to be on social media. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's like, I don't know. Like, vlogging sounds cool to me right now, but at the same time, it's like I know I got, like, at least a couple times a week where I just don't even want to touch my phone. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, it's a good question. I say right now, probably the photos and videos. I feel like there's a real opportunity in that, and there's so many, like, gateways to do it. It's not like I'm leaving the clothes behind. It's just that's not my top priority right now. You know what I mean? It's not my top priority. And plus, if I'm gonna drop some clothes, I want it to be like the best thing I ever dropped. You know what I mean? Like better than the last. Like I have so many. I was talking to my mom yesterday about it. She was like, the UPS man came by the house because I moved out from my mom's crib last year, and UPS man came. Was like, oh, it's been a while since I've been here. She's like, oh yeah, because my son just moved out because I was always ordering packages, but I have so many samples that I just didn't drop like at all. Like I have a whole. If you go in my room, it's just all of my unreleased stuff that I just never dropped. And yeah, so that stuff I'm gonna be putting more on the back burner and kind of focusing in more on photos again, and then marketing, and then I could dump it right back in.
It feels like the photos and videos right now, especially in the social media age, are like those skills transferred to anything that you want to do.
Yeah,
anything. Like you have clothes and you need to show people the clothes. So you gotta take pictures of people in the clothes, videos of people in the clothes, use that marketing skills to get that out there in front of people. Yeah. So honestly, that's not a bad course of action. Yeah, I appreciate that. And of course, you know, you're doing other stuff like taking pictures for graduation. Yeah. And whatever else people hire you to take photos and videos of. So it probably seems like the most lucrative thing that's going on right now. So just trying to see what works out right now, and then how will it apply in the future. You know what I mean? Like long term. So it's like, yeah, you can make this right now, but then imagine how it'd be over this amount of time. You know what I mean? It's like I really just. That's my problem in the past. I move too fast. I gotta sit and think on it for a couple days. You know what I mean? 'Cause you make fast decisions. I mean, I don't know the exact quote. What's the word? What's the quote?
Fast decisions?
Yeah, it's about fast decisions. I don't know.
Fast decisions.
You don't want to make decisions too quick.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you don't want to be too hasty about stuff.
Yeah. Projects I'm working on, just kind of focusing more on the photography side. Yes. Photography side of the business. So like, just focusing more on that, and then kind of not necessarily taking a pause on the clothes, but kind of putting it on the back burner to the photos. Because right now, the photos have just been the main focus. Because it's like, I mean, it's doing good right now. You know what I mean?
Photography's cool because anybody who wants to represent themselves visually has a need for it. Yeah, exactly. So it just applies to so many things. Like, you could take photos for anybody.
And I was telling him, I was like, I mean, even with that, whatever I learned from, you know, being out in the field with the photos and videos for so long, I just bring it back to, you know what I mean, the clothes.
Oh, what do you feel like has crossed over that you learned from photography that you brought to your fashion stuff?
Definitely, I feel like it gave me an upper hand in the beginning, just like on higher quality photos. So like even when I first started with my brand, they weren't the best photos, obviously, but like they're better than the surrounding people. Well, to me, they were. You know what I mean? There's other stuff that goes into it, but like I always had that edge. It's like I knew how to edit, I knew how to take videos and stuff. So I always had kind of that. But now what I'm trying to get better at is just like storytelling. Like I feel like if you can tell a good story, bro, like you'll like if you have a good hook, have a good like end goal and everything, bro.
Girls.
Like, you can go far with a good story. That's what people connect to is good stories. Yeah.
Have you ever done any like documentary style video stuff?
No, I haven't.
Like just long form.
I want to not long form, but I do want to get better at my cinematography. Okay. Just kind of like, you know, cinematography.
Yeah, just getting good shots. Making stuff look good visually.
Exactly.
Well, you talked about like color grading a couple times.
Yeah.
That's definitely important.
Yeah, and he was telling me about you guys wanted to start. What was it? You said you wanted to start documenting. Yeah, you said documentaries. Yeah. You started
started this,
the motion makers.
The project's called Motion. So we made the Instagram. We still got to set up the YouTube. But the idea is just kind of like documenting stuff, whether it's like interviews or just more vlog style. But for me, it's I think I'm trying to highlight like people. I think it can expand eventually, but for now, like people in Tampa that are really like building out the scene.
Yeah.
Especially doing stuff like. There's people that just have their hands in so many projects and are just so influential.
Yeah. I feel like I've only seen one other person do something like that, but it's not even like it was more like people that already made it. So like correct me if I'm wrong, I haven't seen people do that. Like they make documentaries about people on the way up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Most people got to do that on their own, but like if you can create a culture around that, that'd be good.
Yeah, that's the goal at least.
Yeah.
To be able to document the people on the way up, and hopefully be a part or just document a part of someone's career, either before, post, after they make it, before they make it, or whatever.
Yeah.
And just be able to have that, because a long time ago during high school, our freshman year, we did a vlog.
Yeah.
And it was like, it was cool, it was fun, the people, all of our friends were involved in it. They either were on the episodes or like watched the episodes or whatnot. And going back and like seeing that now and watching those vlogs all this time after, it's like I'm very glad that exists.
Yeah.
That it's like I might not watch it for a really long time, years, but when I go back, I'm always like, oh, I remember those times. Like, that was cool. I'm glad that we have this. And I think being able to do that for people, especially people that are so influential or involved in the scene, would be very cool. Just for them, for the people related to them, and even just like fans or anyone really.
Yeah. I agree, bro. Honestly, it just creates a healthier environment in general. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like literally anybody could do it. That's why I be telling folks, I'm like, bro, anybody could do this. It's like, it's just who wants it more. You know what I mean? If you don't have it now, then you just, honestly, you don't. I guess you just don't want it bad enough, or you just haven't been doing it long enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. I watch a lot of Alex Ramosi, so like that stuff's kind of
me too.
ingrained in my head. You know what I mean? But yeah, man. Let's talk about that guy, man. Alex Ramosi.
Yeah.
When'd you start watching him?
Man, I started watching him probably like a year or so ago, and I've always wanted to like have my own business and do business stuff like that.
Yeah.
I've always thought that was kind of like the path I wanted to go, especially at the time I was like working like a 9-to-5 job that I just like hated, and like that employee mindset of like all I want to do is just like be the owner, be the boss, so I don't have to do this shit anymore.
Yeah.
And I gotten a lot of good inspiration from him. Like, I've read $100 million offers, read $100 million leads, and have been trying to like implement that into the stuff that we're doing.
Yeah.
But I also really just like the organic aspect of it, where a lot of this stuff, like, we are just starting off. So like I'm thinking up here, but like we're just starting. So like we're down here. So like the dissonance between where I am in my head. Like, I'm like, oh yeah, I could figure this out. Like, I have all this knowledge.
Exactly.
But the actual execution of it is completely different.
It's the actual work now you got to do.
Yeah. But I think like one of the biggest lessons that I've been carrying around with me now after discovering and absorbing so much of Ramosi's content is like, I'm dedicated to this shit for the next 10 years. Like all these projects that I'm working on, I'm dedicated to doing these projects for the next 10 years, and either it works or it doesn't work. Yeah. But I know if I put in that amount of time and I have that mindset to think super long term like that, that good things could happen. Yeah,
I agree, bro. I think the biggest thing I learned from, I mean, besides all the valuable sales tips he's given, but like, as far as like me personally, I feel like the biggest thing I learned from him is just like, I mean, like, bro, life is life, and no one's gonna care. You know what I mean? Like, life goes on. Like, so what? You know what I mean? Like, so what? This didn't like go your way. Like, bro, like, who cares? You know what I mean? Honestly, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. That, and then also like kind of just looking more long term instead of like right now. Like, a lot of time I kind of like, I get like stuck in my head. Like, bro, like I need to be like right here, like by this time. But it's like, bro, like, this is a long man's game. You know what I mean? I also gotta remind myself how old I am. You know what I mean? Like, I'm still young. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
How old are you?
19.
Nice.
Yeah. But I'm still young, bro. So by the time I'm like 20, like 29, that's 10 years from now. gonna still be considered young-ish. I don't know. If you're older than me, I think you're old. But, you know, that's pretty much it. But, yeah, man, just kind of just not caring as much as far as, like, about the little stuff. You know what I mean? As long as the work's getting the work's getting done, like, who cares? You know what I'm saying? Who cares, really?
Yeah, that is the important part is actually putting in the work.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, lots of good stuff from Hormozy. Definitely trying to tap into Hormozy as much as I can.
Yeah.
But
my biggest thing is right now, I'm just kind of focused more on, because I'm still reading that book Leads. Mm-hmm. So right now, I'm kind of like, after I get done finishing up all the work I got, like, now, I'm going to kind of retrace my steps a little bit and then go back in the book and kind of just like, all right, what did I do that worked out here? What didn't I do? And then I'm just, you know, like what you're doing yourself, I'm trying to apply it to my business as well, see what I can do. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But, yeah.
So if you had to choose one thing that you're doing right now,
all right,
that you couldn't, and you knew that you couldn't fail, what would it be?
If I had to choose one thing that I could do that I'm good at, that I couldn't fail at.
Yeah, and you knew that you weren't going to fail.
I knew it could be like anything ever.
Yeah.
That's a good question. I mean, I have an answer in my head, but I want to think. I guess maybe to...
Yeah, just say the first thing that comes to your head.
First thing that came to my head was like selling or like convincing, be able to convince you. So like, I don't know. Is that bad? Is that toxic? Being a very convincing guy. I don't know.
Just being a good salesperson.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what they do.
Yeah.
Talking you into buying whatever they have, but not in a malicious way.
Not in a malicious way. I mean, some of them are malicious.
Yes, you can use those skills in a malicious way.
Yeah.
But I think if you're really trying to sell something onto something that they really need or genuinely want, they just need a little bit of convincing.
Exactly.
I think that's perfectly reasonable.
Exactly. I'm not malicious, guys. Buy my clothes, please. But yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, like I've definitely met some people that are just like, I think what comes with sales, bro, this is why I like it so much, because like people don't realize, like, it's kind of like it's really like a life skill, bro. Like it's like being super charming, but also like you know what's crazy? I kind of look at sales as like kind of like game. Like having a lot of charm and just being good with your words.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think that's what sales is all really is.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Like,
yeah.
Just run a game. I mean, in most cases, you want to have the best interest for the customer, but to be honest, there's a lot of people out there that's not like that. But yeah, sales. I think sales for sure. Being able to like convince. Or. Nah, I'm gonna stick with that. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with that. What about you?
Oh man, that is something that I could do that if I knew I wouldn't fail.
AJ, man, where you been at, man?
I know.
We miss you.
AJ, where you at?
Man.
This is the Changhoff podcast with only Chang.
Yeah. Doc podcast now. Welcome back.
I think right now, at this point in my life, doing all of this creative stuff, and like seeing the possibilities of where you can take it, and like I've always been a creative person, and I've liked doing like art and being involved in all sorts of artistic ventures, but I've also really been interested in like business, owning businesses, you know, making money, doing all that stuff.
Yeah.
And now being involved in the scene and like seeing people and take their lanes and like run with it, definitely like if I knew I couldn't fail, definitely some sort of like creative pursuit, try to make it as an artist of some sort or a creator of some sort.
That's not, we saying skill though. So like we said skill, right? Or you just, so you meant anything like career?
Just anything.
Okay. I thought you meant like skill. Oh yeah. Oh, so just like as a creative in general?
Yeah.
I would say that, yeah. I mean,
because there's a lot of stuff that I want to do that I just don't know how to do yet.
Yeah.
Like I would like to make clothes. I think that would be dope.
Yeah.
I just, it's not on the radar for me right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? All sorts of stuff, but if I knew I couldn't fail and I could just like be a full-time artist and like actually live, that'd be great.
Yeah. That's what I'm trying to get to right now. I want to be free, bruh. Like,
so what other stuff have you done? Like, have you ever done any music or sports or?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I played sports. Played football and I wrestled in high school. I mean, that's about it. Music, nah, I was never. I mean, I have friends that were in music. Well, they still are in music, like heavy. I always thought it was interesting, but it was like, it's not really for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, I prefer to do photos, but I do like music a lot. So all the like producing stuff, I always thought it was interesting, but I never really just got involved. I'm like, I'm already like have a lot on my plate right now, and it's like, it's not really worth the time for me to venture into it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I do think it is definitely fun to spend some time working on a skill that you don't really have.
Yeah.
Like not even to get better at it, but just for the mental battle of like, I remember at the beginning of this pod, you were like, oh yeah, I'm kind of nervous. I've never really done this.
Oh yeah.
But like probably even from then till now.
Yeah.
I'd imagine you're like, oh, okay, this isn't so bad.
Yeah, it's not that bad. Yeah.
You just talk. Like,
honestly.
Yeah, we're just having a convo.
Yeah.
That's really all it is. Convo on cam.
Or like the other day, I recorded a video where I was just sitting down talking to the camera.
Yeah.
And I was like so scared at first.
Yeah,
I thought I was going to be fine. But then once I sat down and started, I was like, oh, hold on. But after a little bit, I like settled into it. But yeah, it's definitely scary to do something for the first time.
Yeah, I just hope I don't look back at this and I look at him like, damn, I'm so boring. Hopefully not.
Nah, honestly, the conversation has been really good so far.
Have they?
Yeah. Do we have a time? Where are we at?
Yeah, we're at about 32 minutes.
32 minutes.
All right, cool. Let's
Wow,
go
we
for
go
like
for a while.
let's go for like another 10. Yeah, but a lot of
it's
Yeah, I was about to say,
has
those
been
dogs.
sitting waiting for dogs to stop talking.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited to listen to this one because I didn't hear most of it.
Oh
so.
yeah, this is gonna be a new one for you. Who edits the
Jay
video?
does most of it.
Yeah,
video?
I edit. He does the audio. I do the everything else.
Yeah.
Sweet. Yeah. I always thought podcasts were cool. Now this is a secret. I low-key wanted to start one a while ago, but I just didn't have anything to talk about, honestly. I mean, I had stuff to talk about, but I was like, I don't know. Like, it was back to the being in front of the camera thing again. Oh, yeah. Keep forgetting about that. I'll watch videos and see, how do people do that? Just have it in front of your face, but now I see.
Yeah, now you know.
Yeah, now I know. Sorry, guys. But yeah, it's just being in front of the camera, man. But stuff like this is kind of helping me you know what I mean? Get more used to it.
It's been interesting. Like, I've talked to a couple people recently about the idea of having a podcast, and that's definitely something people say is like, oh yeah, I'm not sure what it would be about.
Yeah.
Or I'm not sure if I would have enough to talk about. But honestly, the way we've been doing it, this will be like episode 13 or 14.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of have enjoyed the practice of just doing it once a week.
Yeah.
Regardless of if you have anything to talk about.
Really?
And then you're in the habit of doing it. Like, you get better at it. You develop it.
Oh, so it's like a hobby for you guys, but you
yeah,
have fun
and then
doing it.
like once you have stuff to talk about,
yeah,
then you have
you already kind of built up that courage already.
Yeah, the process of this podcast has been really interesting because I feel like I'm sharpening different swords at the same time.
Oh, word.
Like having conversational skills. Like even like if we were off the camera right now, I like feel more comfortable just having like good conversation with people.
Really?
Just because of this podcast.
Yeah.
Because it's like, how do you talk? Especially since we're recording, it's like we have to talk.
Yeah.
The whole time. It's like we can't just be like, all right, let's chill for a little bit. You
Yeah.
know? So it's like being like having the mental to like just continue conversation and just like go down like where I'm curious and talk to people.
That's one thing I do want to improve on. It's just like getting good at like saying my thoughts. You know what I mean? Like I don't think I'm the best at communicating my thoughts. Just kind of I get tongue tied a lot, and then also it's kind of I don't know, but just kind of being better at communicating my words and stuff and just saying it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So,
one thing too, like as far as just developing skills from the podcast, like in so many real world situations, like if the three of us were just like here hanging out, I feel like so often it just turns into like somebody pulls out their phone and is just like on Twitter. And then it's like, oh, did you see this video? And then like that's how we spend the next 2 hours.
Or even like something that we've just started doing recently is like interviewing people, like the They Hate Change interview or the Kalen Ellis interview. I feel like if I hadn't been practicing every week talking in front of a camera on mic to another person, like those interview skills wouldn't be as good as, like, I surprised myself with just being able to, like, ask people questions and, like, do, like, a little interview, whether it's short or long, and be like, oh, this is not as bad as I thought it would be. Because I was fucking terrified the first time that I was going to do it. We were walking around. I'm like, I don't want to bother anyone. But then it ended up being cool. And it's like, that's something that I never saw that I would ever do. But now that I have done it a few times, I like it. And I like, want to do more of it.
Yeah. I do have a question for you guys.
Yeah. Go ahead.
All right. So, like, let me see. How do you... So, the one of the biggest problems I think I'm facing right now is just, like, kind of prioritizing. Oh, that's nice. It's very nice. It's very nice. No, I wasn't being sarcastic.
No, I know. It is nice.
Yeah.
I didn't write it. I'm going to take the credit, but...
Just prioritizing. Like, would you guys say you're good at that, kind of prioritizing, getting stuff, like, knocked out? Because with me, I feel like I'll start a project, and then I'll just prolong it. So then I get sidetracked by a bunch of stuff. So I guess, how would you guys kind of... I mean, I don't know if you're good at focusing on your work and getting it knocked out, but what would you say your system is for, like, getting stuff done?
I would say you go first. I can answer too, but...
Okay, yeah. I do have a good answer to this. At least with the progression of the different projects that we've done, I think we were really good at, like, the podcast. For this podcast was, like, the first project that we started working on. And I feel like we did it a few times. I wrote it down on paper, like, every step, like, in painful detail of everything that we have to do from start to finish in order to, like, do a podcast. And after doing it a few times, we kind of got a good system at it until we both felt comfortable that, like, we have, like, a good system, we have it down, and we can do it really well without thinking too much about it.
Yeah,
and, like, every week we're very intentional about, like, how can we make this as sustainable and, like, efficient as possible, where we can just, like, meet up once a week and for, like, 2 or 3 hours just, like, boom, 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 set up, record, edit, clip, upload, schedule.
Yeah.
So we can take, like, 3-4 hours on a Monday and do everything we have to do, and then the rest of the week is open for whatever else we need to do. But I think part of it has been being intentional about, like, designing and scheduling and doing everything in a way that it's sustainable for us, even when we get busy, even when we...
Yeah. So it's like we have the plan, we have the backup plan, so I know that if there's anything that goes wrong, I still feel comfortable that everything is going to work as scheduled because we have put in that hard work at the beginning to, like, make it sustainable, make it efficient, and enjoyable. Yeah. I think that's been, like, the number one thing that I've found from doing these projects is that it's so much easier to put in the work when it's enjoyable. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good answer, man.
Other stuff, though, do you have anything else you want to say? Or okay. As far as other stuff, like, let's say motion makers, or, like, we do this radio show called Citrus Sound. Yeah. Honestly, I feel like I need a better system to get stuff done, because I feel like I have a list of things I could be working on that, like, I want to get to, but there's not a space in my calendar dedicated to it. Yeah. But yeah, as far as prioritizing, I do think this is kind of separate, but I do think it's been cool to have something like the podcast where we have to deliver something every week. Yeah. Or, like, this project Tampa Shoutout I've been doing, where it's like once a week I need to put that calendar post out, and then I'm also doing daily stuff, and then now I started doing a monthly one. So just having that some amount of structure where I'm, like, finishing things and kind of delivering, I think also just gives me confidence to do other stuff. Really? Because I think like, definitely when I think back to periods where I've spent, like, 2 or 3 months with just, like, a bunch of different projects, and, like, some stuff gets abandoned, some stuff I'm like, I don't like this as much as I liked it 2 months ago. Yeah. And, like, you kind of get stuck in it's like a loop, a slump of, like, is any of this even worth doing? Yeah. So having something like the weekly podcast and, like, the Showcal stuff where, like, I'm delivering something on a regular basis, I feel like it gives me, like, the momentum and the confidence to be like, okay, like, just to keep, to stay in motion, so to speak, like, just to stay. Object in motion stays in motion kind of thing. Like,
yeah, I think I think the biggest problem right now is just, for me, I be thinking I'm Superman sometimes, bro. And I just kind of, all right, I'm just gonna load up all this work for this short period of time. Like I'll have it done by then. It's like never turns out that way because like, bro, you can't be putting all this work. You know what I mean? It's just not realistic.
Yeah, like you think you're just like, I'm gonna do everything
yeah,
today.
Yeah, it
like,
just never turns out that way. It's like, oh man, it's like I'll be doing my work at my desk and then I wake up at 6. It's like, what even happened?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, but just getting a better check on that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna take this jacket off. It's getting kind of hot.
Yeah, no worries. I think too, it can be nice to just think of like, okay, if I can only do one thing today,
yeah,
what should that thing be? And then just like do that first. Or there's this other concept of, I think it was like Ben Franklin who wrote about. He was saying like when you sit down to do work, you should eat the frog.
Mm-hmm.
And he's saying eat the frog like the thing you've been putting off that's like really intimidating. That like it's just looming over you. Like I really gotta, you know, like you gotta like do your taxes or like the thing that's like over your head. Like, like you gotta start with that.
Gotta eat the frog.
You gotta eat the frog, yeah.
So you guys eat the frog a lot?
Thankfully, these frogs are tasty enough that I don't mind.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, like my taxes, I put it off for like a month before doing it, and then it took me 20 minutes to do one day, and I was like, oh, okay, I've been putting this off for like nothing.
That took me like 3 hours, bro.
TurboTax.
I was on TurboTax.
Oh dang.
Oh.
Maybe I'm just a little bit of a TurboTax nerd.
Yeah, man.
I've been using it for years.
It was my first time filing. Ever. But, yeah. Taxes, man. I don't like them.
I don't think anyone does.
You can go live on an island and start your own independent nation.
Yeah, that's hard.
Yeah.
That's hard, man.
Yeah. But yeah, I've definitely been feeling like I need to put together like a more organized task management kind of something just to stay.
Yeah. Definitely got to start using my calendar more.
Yeah.
I have a paper one, but I got to just use my phone more and more. It's like, I'm not going to lie. I be forgetting like half the stuff I have going on like the next day. I'm like,
you
bro.
Use like Google Calendar? Or?
I used to, and then I connected my job to my calendar, and then automatically just started going to my Apple Calendar.
Okay.
But I like Google Calendar better.
You can sync them.
I tried. I mean, I'll try again, but
yeah,
like, yeah. So that was the main reason why I just stopped using Calendar, because I didn't like Apple Calendar enough, but all my work stuff wasn't going to Google Calendar, so I was just kind of like,
will you
just write it
to your
down.
right a little bit, Vaun?
Yeah.
Just give her a window to squeeze through. Come on. Come here now. Come here.
If you're open to trying a different calendar, I've been using this calendar called Fantastical.
Fantastical?
Yeah, and it's like, because I had the same problem where I didn't like Apple calendars, and I like Google calendars better, but I didn't really like Google Calendar. Just like had stuff that I just, or didn't have stuff that I wish it did, and Fantastical kind of like put all of that together. It's like the best of both worlds for me. So I've been using that for like over a year now.
Does it automatically like sync to your Fantastical?
Yeah, so I have my Gcal and my Apple Cal synced to my Fantastical.
Oh, really?
So like I could just open any calendar, put in the thing, and I know that it's going to be there in whatever calendar that I use.
Yeah, I've used a few. I use Google Calendar these days. It's just simple, but definitely some type of calendar app is big.
Yeah, I think what really helped me is a while ago, because I have my own YouTube channel, and I was planning on doing this video of like my entire like productivity setup, like my calendar, my to-do list, my notes app, and like how all of them kind of like work in conjunction. And now a lot of that stuff is defunct.
Yeah.
But because I like put so much energy into like really laying out on the table like what does my productivity system do, what is it, how does it look like, how does it help me accomplish the things that I want to accomplish, just having that down has helped me like figure out what really is like the main movers in terms of like what gets it done. And honestly, for me, that's been the calendar, because for my entire life, for the first 23 years of my life, I never used a calendar
at all,
ever. Jeez. Zero. Like I never used one. And ever since I've started using a calendar, I was like, I've been missing out.
Your first time using a calendar was like this year, or like last year.
Yeah, it was 2023.
I remember you were like, "Yeah, I started using Google Calendar. It's great." I'm like, "You just
Yeah.
What have you been?"
Yeah, I was just raw dogging life before then.
No.
For me, the biggest thing is just like somebody, especially doing freelance type stuff, when somebody's like, "Hey, when are you available for something?" Just being able to pull it out and look at it.
Yeah.
Or like I can tell if somebody is not really on their stuff with a calendar, where we'll like try to book something, and they're like, "Yeah, that works," and then the day before they're like, "Oh, actually, I forgot. I actually have to do this."
Yeah.
And it's like, "Oh,
Yep.
okay, well."
Yeah.
Like I was planning on doing the thing that you
I
said
had
you wanted
had
to do, but-
so many Saturdays mixed up with this one.
Oh.
I'm like, bro, like, oh, how am I gonna make it there when I got to shoot that day? I was like, oh no, that's next Saturday. Like, okay.
I'm glad. Yeah, I'm glad it worked out.
Yeah.
I was like, oh man. But no, yeah, it all worked out.
Is there anything that you're really passionate about that you want to speak on?
What I'm passionate about?
Yeah.
I think people our age waste a lot of their like potential. Like I feel like there's so many great artists. Like I met so many people that are like way better at stuff than me and stuff, and they like I don't know what it is. I guess it's just the work aspect, like just doing the work. I feel like people have so much potential, so much personality, and they just waste it all. They just waste it all.
Do you think that these people or people that kind of fall into this category, their biggest problem is laziness or perfectionism?
I think it depends on the person. Some people just don't like really don't. That's not what they want to do.
Some people are just chilling where they're at.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. Which is not a problem at all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's like, bro, if I had what you had, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
bro, but if we're talking about those, you said perfectionism or
Laziness.
laziness. Probably laziness. Honestly, I mean, that's what my biggest problem was for a while, was just being lazy. You know what I mean? I think people that like kind of are like told like they have a lot of. I mean, I can't say it applies to everybody, but I know people that have always been kind of had the advantage of like talented, kind of fall behind because like they feel like they don't have to do the work behind it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that's what the biggest, just laziness. You know what I mean? Perfectionism. I don't think I've met anybody that's like a true perfectionist, unless it's like somebody that's like like an actual business owner, like someone that's like already ranking in money. You know what I mean? Because they have to be a perfectionist. But I don't think I've truly met a perfectionist before. You know what I mean? That's just like laziness.
I feel like a lot of the ways I see perfectionism, especially in music, is like somebody being scared about how something will be received once they release it.
Yeah, but then I don't even think that's like perfectionist. I think that's just they a little insecure, man. Like you gotta rip the Band-Aid off a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe it's different.
You know what I mean? So, like, when I'm making videos, like I never say like, oh, it's because I want it to be perfect. It's like, nah, bro. Like I don't know how if I want to post this today. You know what I mean? Like, you know, but it's just a Band-Aid you gotta rip off. You know what I mean?
It's funny though, on the like perfectionist insecurity, whichever it is topic, Kaylin Ellis posted like yesterday or today, like after this Drake track and the Kendrick track, like you got no excuse not to drop your song. They turned that around same day.
Bro, they're going at it right now.
You know, 'cause people be like, oh, like I want to take like another month, get it mixed, and then like another month work on some playlists, and another month to.
You gotta go now.
It's like, nah, just drop it. Like,
I like the meme where it's like, you've been working on this song for 6 months, and a 16-year-old on their iPhone just like made a song and released it same day.
right.
Went viral.
Yeah,
Everywhere now.
Yeah.
Shout out them guys, man.
Y'all, I'm gonna start working on an album.
Yeah. Tell us about that.
Word.
Yeah. A lot of stuff I'm still not sure. I'm gonna try to release it September 1st.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm excited.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Yeah.
What about
You got
September 11th?
No.
Why not?
It's gonna blow
the
up.
idea, I'm gonna start now and then like build
It's
up
gonna take off, man.
like
Trust me.
tracks versus features from like Tampa folk right now. And then so I'll have like rest of this month and June, and then July I'll be in Chicago for a couple weeks. So then like have all my friends out there, like when I play guitar, sing, like track on that, and then be in New York for a couple weeks. So like have everybody out there. So it'll just be like sort of like collecting like more and more collaborators, more and more features. and then I'll be back here beginning of August, and then take like the rest of August to just like mix it, sort of like figure out what songs are gonna be on there, and then hopefully get like mixed, mastered, uploaded, distro stuff done by August. Then I'll drop it September 1st.
Hell yeah.
That's the goal.
It's gonna be fire.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gonna be heat. So hot it melts steel beams.
We'll see. And then I've like mentioned this to a couple people. And they're like, "Oh, like what kind of music?" I'm like, "I don't really know yet." We'll see.
You got
going with the flow.
Any direction you want to go with it at all?
I want to collaborate with as many people as I can.
Okay.
Like even if it's just somebody that like just like plays a little bit of drums or like plays a few lines on guitar.
A little bit of variety pack.
Like I want to have and I want to do a release on CD too. Okay. Have like a booklet on the inside where it has like for each song like the full list of like writers, producers, instrumentation, and I want it to just be pages like.
That'd be some real
like
vintage,
one song with like 20 people on it.
You're giving me ideas right now. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. It's giving me ideas.
But so that's one element. I want to rap. Like I've been writing a little bit.
Okay.
So, yeah. So I want to have some. But we'll see. This one I think is going to be focused on just like collaborating with a lot of people and just sort of having that like shared vision.
Yeah.
Of like leaving it open to whoever. What else? Yeah. I'm excited to see where it goes, though.
Yeah, I'm excited for that project, too.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be super cool.
Yeah. I think this might be, too. I don't even know how much of this I want to... I mean, whatever. But I think this will be, like, the Free Silk thesis project. So that'll be, like, the first Free Silk project.
Okay.
And then everyone after can kind of be, like...
Tell Vaun and the people a little bit what Free Silk is.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't know what Free Silk is.
I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know exactly what it is yet.
Okay. Oh, you don't know what it is? Okay.
At least tell the story of how you came to the name Free Silk. I think that says a lot.
Yeah, it's kind of inspired by... So this New Chance album, which has been like in the process of releasing for like 2 years. I don't know if it's ever going to come out.
That's Chance the Rapper, by the way, in case you don't know.
Yeah, Chance the Rapper. So the concept of this New Chance project, it's called the Starline EP or the Starline... Oh, the Starline Gallery.
Okay.
So the idea is there's like a lot of elements to it. One element is that each song has a different cover art, and then I believe the proceeds of the song get split half and half with whoever did the art.
Really?
So like each song has had its own dedicated release, and they do like a gallery in a museum in Chicago, and they can like sell a whole bunch of their paintings.
That's really cool.
So yeah, and then he's also making a point of collaborating with like a lot of African artists. So there's like a couple artists from Ghana. But so the Starline is the name Starline comes from Marcus Garvey had a fleet of ships called the Black Star Line, which was basically a fleet of ships that had trade routes between the U.S. and Africa, and it was just this idea that like they could just trade directly with each other instead of having to go through like third parties and middlemen and exchanges. Yeah. But so yeah, I was thinking about that Star Line, and then for me, I think about like silk comes from like the Silk Road.
Yeah,
it was like a big like Eurasian trade route where like there was just so much cultural exchange, like so much, as far as like religion and even like people finding out about new spices, and there's just like so much exchange and so much knowledge and culture that was just like, and like everybody benefits from that.
Yeah,
you know, just like having open access to, So for me, Free Silk is this idea of like just being open to collaborating with others and like open to exchanging like ideas and information, and you know, because I think like I've seen this different places, but like a lot of people try to like protect the sauce that they have. Yeah. Like they don't want to share like what their color grading settings are. Or, like, I've been in sessions where like a producer will export the stems, and they're like, they don't even want to give me the stems because they're like, oh, like I can't really. What? I'm like, okay.
Like, so okay.
Like, because they don't want me to like reverse engineer whatever kind of reverb they had on it, because that's.
Okay, let's get into that real quick. How do you guys feel about stuff like that? Like just giving people
like guarding your sauce.
Yeah, like your sauce.
I feel like
presets, preloads, whatever.
Yeah,
packs.
like I mean, to an extent, like if you put a lot of work into creating something, it's okay to sell it to people, or like it's okay to make money on it. Yeah. But I do think a lot of good comes from people being open to
just giving it out.
Just giving it, yeah.
Yeah. My thing is with that, I don't really have, I don't have a problem giving it out at all. But like, if you come up like and ask me, I mean, okay, 9 times out of 10, I'll tell you. Yeah. But like, only if I feel like it's gonna be like worth the time. Like if I had this conversation with you like 5 times and you haven't like did anything or like shown that you even wanted, like, I'm not gonna waste my time talking to you anymore. If you want any more out of me, then we're gonna have to start talking money. But like, besides that, like, I don't have a problem with giving it out. You know what I mean? Yeah. As long as you're like serious doing it, then I would feel a little upset if I just spent the time telling you what I know and then you just don't do any of it. It's like, bro, like, I lost money figuring this out. I done cried and blood, sweat, tears, all types of stuff with this stuff, and I'm giving it to you for free. Like, you ain't have to go through that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So.
But that's the idea of like Free Silk as a concept. I'm not sure if it'll be more a record label or like just a collective.
I think I really like that. I really like the idea of Free Silk. I like it a lot. Yeah.
I think right now I'm focusing on like the record label aspect. Yeah. Where the first project will be this one I was just talking about, and I'm gonna be lead on that, and then do things like maybe have like a release show, maybe like the limited release on CD I like, and have some kind of margin so I can make a little bit on that. And then take that and reinvest it into whatever the next project is. Yeah. So hopefully make enough on that to have like budgets to do, let's say 2 projects, and then like start working on those. And I would love to get it into a place where like I would be able to cover like recording costs, be able to cover manufacturing costs, like have all that in the budget already. Yeah. So that I could just come to an artist and be like, yo, like I'll fund the sessions, we'll pay the producers, you know. Like whatever your vision is, we're gonna do that, and then, word, you know, and then basically the label or collective or whatever would just take the first however much to pay for the costs, and then the rest would go to the artist. Okay. So for example, like the CD limited release thing, I think like 99 copies is cool because like the first 20, 30 copies will pay for the expenses. Okay. So then the artist will have like 60 copies of the CD that they can sell for $10 or $15, and then just keep all that. Oh wow, man. I've been thinking about this for a while. How long you been thinking about Free Silk? Like a couple weeks.
Really?
Yeah. Say bad. I mean, this specific concept, but I like the idea of like having a record label or like working with artists.
But you never put like too much deep thought into it until like Free Silk became an idea, like the whole system and stuff.
I don't know. And it could change a lot from what I'm saying now. Yeah, but that's just where I'm at right now. Yeah. And two, it's interesting. Like, so the traditional record label model is the record label owns 80% of the master. Okay. And the artist owns 20, but then the artist 20 gets split between like your manager, your lawyer, your producers. Yeah. So like to be a producer and get like 5%, like Pharrell is getting like 6%. Really? Yeah, of a song. So which I don't know.
Abysmal.
I've seen people try models where like I'd love for the artist to own all of the master. But then I also feel like I don't feel crazy saying like maybe the label has like 10 or 15% of the master. Yeah. Just to recoup a little bit to reinvest into the next project. Yeah. I actually saw a concept that was really cool recently. It was somebody that started this label, and they fund like all of the recording, all of the distro. The artist owns 100% of the master, and the business model is they sell access to the record label's meetings. So like the actual internal board meetings of the label, they're like 20 seats that people can like come and watch and that's how they fund it. It's like brand new. I don't know if it's gonna work, but
that's interesting.
Yeah.
That's creative for sure.
Yeah, I wonder how that would work though. So they just sit there, take notes, and then take it back with them.
Yeah, I think it's geared towards like music business students. Okay. Who are like in college studying this, trying to work out a record label. Okay. So it's almost like an internship, I guess. I don't know. I forget what it's called. I'll have to look it up later. I feel bad that I'm not able to actually say the name for whoever's listening, but.
That seems very valuable if you do get a seat in there, just to like hear what goes on at the very top of of record labels, because that's where the money gets moved around, you know.
Yeah.
That's where the decisions happen. That's where the important stuff is made.
Yeah, it's interesting though. Like, thinking about how to create an entity or like a label that can support artists and like give them the tools they need to realize their vision without staying in this old model where most of the revenue goes to like old guys in suits.
Yeah.
That aren't really contributing creatively. They just have the capital.
Yeah, and they have the resources.
So they have so much money that they're,
Yeah. Nowadays, all you need is a phone.
Yeah.
Now anybody can do it, man.
Well, music though is interesting because like it used to be that you put out an album and like in order to listen to it, you got to go either get a CD or like go on iTunes and spend $15.
Yeah.
Whereas now, like I can listen to a song all day for weeks, and they get 20 cents.
Yeah.
off of Spotify. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, stuff like merch is still good.
Yeah, especially people that actually put effort into their merch.
Yeah.
Like, who was it? I think it was Drake's for his last concert tour he did. What was it? For all the what was it for all the dogs tour? But I think he had some like puff hoodies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I was like, I mean, even though that puff print's kind of like played out now.
Yeah.
Like me personally, I haven't seen any other you know what I mean, artists doing like that. So it was the first one I seen with like puff print. I'm like, oh snap! I think Travis Scott too. People that actually
Travis Scott's merch has always been
really good. Travis Scott, yeah,
he goes hard on the
Didn't you get a chicken nugget pillow?
Yeah, I got so much, like when he did the collaboration with McDonald's. I worked at McDonald's, so I've always been like a really big fan of McDonald's, as crazy as that sounds. Like I have McDonald's Crocs, but yeah, he made merch that was like a giant chicken nugget pillow. I bought one of that.
Really?
And I have
it's like this big.
Yeah, it was like
Jeez.
And
it's like bigger than my torso.
I have this hoodie that has puff print on it where it's like McDonald's logo on the front, Cactus Jack on the back.
Really?
Yeah.
It's perfect for you, man. Sounds like you love that thing.
Yeah. I still.
You know what I have that I really love that you got me.
Mm.
It's not an artist merch, but it's the Virgil Abloh IKEA collab, like bag.
Yeah, it was like the tote bag.
Tote bag.
Really?
I'll get it out. You want to see it?
Yeah, I do want to see it.
It's so hard.
Oh.
Check this out.
Show it to the people. Show it to the people.
Yeah.
Boom.
This is the Virgil IKEA collection.
Rest in peace, Virgil.
Look how big it is, too.
Yeah, that's huge. It's a travel bag.
Mm-hmm.
What?
I didn't even realize that it was that big.
It's big,
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that
I thought
thing.
it was a paper bag at first.
No. I should take this to the grocery store.
Honestly.
Yeah.
How'd you wear it, like this?
Yeah.
It would, like, sit a little more down.
Rest in peace to Virgil. He's one of my biggest inspirations of all time. That man was so creative, had so much output.
Yeah.
He did everything. I mean, he designed a Maybach. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't get harder than that.
It was sweet to see. He had an exhibit at the Museum of Contemporary Art in Chicago. Getting to see Virgil's exhibit at the Museum of Contemporary Art. They had it set up. It was huge. It was like rooms and rooms and rooms. But one room was like all of the shoes with Nike. And then one room is like fashion. It was like Serena tennis uniform, Beyonce concert fit, like, and then like more traditional art, and then like all the album art hanging on the wall. And then there was a room of like just like DJ decks that he had built and customized. And
I feel like if we go back to the conversation long term,
yeah,
I like that. I like just being like designing stuff. You know what I mean? I like that.
Yeah.
and he was originally an architect.
Yeah.
Like he went to school for architecture.
Yeah.
Like they had mock-ups of buildings he designed. There's this one building that was like meant to be on the Chicago River, and it kind of went up and like arched over the river, so that part of the building you could stand and there'd be glass and you'd. It's like super.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But yeah, I think just that freedom to be creative in so many different mediums.
Yeah.
It's really cool. It's really cool to see all these different objects in a room and look at them next to each other. Like wow, this one person like had all this stuff going on in their mind.
He definitely left a trail of bodies for sure. A large trail of bodies.
Yeah.
Large body of work.
Yeah, body of work. I like that better.
So dark about it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess we're gonna wrap up now. I almost looked at the camera, but the camera's dead. So.
Yeah, camera's not there anymore.
Whoever's listening, thanks for listening. I guess this part will be on Patreon. Or we want to keep going for the bonus?
Yeah, we can go for the bonus.
Y'all are down to keep going?
Yeah. We can just we can wrap it up. Pause for a second. Let phone charge. Because I also have my battery pack, so I can just once it's on, I can just plug it in and it'll not die. We could go for a little.
All right, thanks for listening. We're going to keep rolling for a little bit. Maybe do another 15, 20 minutes. That'll be Patreon exclusive bonus episode.
Yeah, make sure you subscribe.
Yeah, so you got to go subscribe if you want to see that.
You don't want to miss that juicy content, man.
That's where we act. That's where we're real. Right now we're acting. We're just characters.
This is all a facade.
This is all bullshit.
Yeah. I'm lying to all of you.
Yeah.
My name's not even Vaun.
We're just making stuff up.
Yeah.
Here I'm AJ. On the bonus, you find out my real name. But yeah, check out the Patreon if you got bread like that. If you don't have bread like that, the podcast is free, so you can listen. There's lots of episodes. There's got to be 14 out by now, or 13 maybe. Yeah. What else?
Thank you guys so much for listening and for watching. We really appreciate it. Everything we do and everything we make off of this podcast comes directly from your support. And I love what I do, and I'm glad that you guys give me the chance to be able to do that. Thank you, Vaun.
Thank you. For the audio listeners, Jacob kept looking at the tripod, the empty tripod, like it was a camera. And we're both me and AJ just looking at him like, what are you looking at?
It's just a habit.
Yeah, it's a habit. It's
routine.
I feel more connected.
I'd feel better looking. Yeah.
You just feel more secure just looking at an empty tripod. Yeah. I get it. Oh yeah, thanks guys for having me, man.
Yeah, it was an absolute pleasure.
All right, we're gonna keep it rolling on the bonus.
Sweet.
Oh wait, I'll do a
Patreon.com/Changhoff. Changhoff on everything. Instagram, YouTube. Go subscribe. Spotify, Changhoff. Apple Podcasts, Changhoff. Go check out our other projects too. Citrasound. Citrasound.com.
That's
CITRUSOUND.
You got that tripod?
.com.
Taking all this down.
All right, see you on the bonus.